Hello YouTube. Today I'm going to be spectating one of my friends again. He is a Bronze 2
The
support
end
player.
draws
He
near.
is playing 5v5 and he wants to get better at Illari. So I'm going to try to help him get better at Illari and hopefully get him to silver.
Escort the payload.
I'll see this through, no matter what.
So you guys are up, so you guys can probably push main, but in higher ranks you're probably not going to have people at your spawn door like that. You're probably going to have to go to the left side where that Ana's at now. So you should go and try to help your Kiriko with that Ana since you have mobility. If you hold shift, you can get up to that high ground.
My healing pylon
Because if you
is
hold
here.
shift, you go higher up in the air, Illari.
Stay near my pylon.
So when you're shooting as Illari, you should wait until your meter becomes full. If you shoot when your meter's full, you do like 75 damage per shot, but if you shoot it when it's underneath that 1/3 bar, you only do 25 damage a shot.
Stop pushing yourself so hard.
So instead of being able to 4-shot people, you have to shoot them like 10 times to kill them.
Recharging. You're on your own. Out of my
The
way.
payload has reached
They
the
broke my pylon.
Is if you were advancing the payload.
So again, like I said, you just want to charge up your shots a little more, so that'll just let you do more damage. Here I would try to maybe throw your pylon on that wall to the right of your Orisa, just so it can heal them while they're fighting over there.
Healing pylon out.
Let the kitsune guide you.
Here I don't mind you pushing card. Someone has to push card.
Let me see. Healing pylon deployed.
So you hear that Reaper off to the left, you should try to ping it so your teammates know that he's over there.
Quemo como el sol.
The payload has reached the checkpoint.
Head into a payload's moving. Let's go. Face the sunrise.
So every time before you ult as Illari, I want to see you hold
Not
shift
bad.
and use your shift cooldown, just because then you can get up in the air higher and you can get a better Illari ult more easily. And by the time you're done with the ult, you'll basically have the shift back again. Also, I don't know if you know how Illari ult works, but after someone is hit by the ult, they become sunstruck for like 7 seconds or something like that. And if within those 7 seconds, if they take 90 damage within a short period, then the sunstruck will explode and they'll blow up. And then, I don't know how much the explosion damage is, but it's enough that anyone that's near them will also explode. And you can cause a chain
I
reaction
need
with
some
it.
help. Stay near my pylon.
I like
This
repositioning
ends now.
pylon. You have to do that pretty often on attack.
Cooling down.
Gale the Mahal.
Get away from me. I was made for this.
Double
Positioning healing pylon.
You should try to focus on putting your pylon in a better spot, just taking an extra second to place it down. Just because it is like
Pylon
a,
deployed.
I think it's like a 15-second cooldown if they break it. I could be wrong, it could be like 12 or something like that. It's just a long cooldown. So defense for Illari is a lot easier than attack, just because you have to spend less time repositioning your pylon. I like you being set up here on the high ground. I don't know your teammates are up here, but in higher ranks, you will have teammates playing up here, and this is good
Working on your
positioning.
injury. Keep close. Recharging. You're on your own. Changing my pylon's location.
I will give you shelter.
I'm killing you.
You should have placed your pylon back down. You haven't had it down for a bit.
Let's kick this off.
Healing pylon out.
As Illari, you should always try to have your pylon down when possible too.
Then hurry over. Positioning healing pylon.
Your Kiriko needs help there, crit.
Muéstrame dónde te duele.
As a support, you always want to try to help your other support as much as possible, just because if they die, then there's no one to help you. So this should be your priority.
Show me your wounds.
Here you probably need to reposition to the left just because the cart is pushed up.
Not
And
bad.
now you can hear that there are people to the right of you.
Don't touch me.
So if you repositioned faster, you would have had your pylon moved already, and you would have been in better positioning. So it looks like you guys are going to lose this team fight now. Here,
Soy más hábil de
I
lo
would
que
just
crees.
die on cart. Just go in and die with your tank. Maybe you can trade out with one of their supports or something. But you guys probably are not going to get out of this alive. I could be wrong though.
Sunrise. Repositioning pylon.
Here I would have waited to use your ult. You should just try to regroup with your team and play the next corner. It's going to be very hard for you guys to hold this corner here.
This ends now.
Gale the Mahal. Let the Kitsune guide you.
Recharging. Just stuff it out. I thought you were a sniper.
So here you shouldn't have even been that far up. That's why you died to the Reaper ult. If you were playing back further in a safer position, that Reaper would have a lot harder time ulting to kill you.
Pylon broken.
60 seconds remaining.
So here you just need to reset and wait for your team. You guys just can't do anything. You can't really help your Bastion if he tries to go in here, because if you try to help your Bastion, you're just gonna
Positioning
die.
healing pylon. Working on it.
Not so fast.
وليهم قوتك.
I need to recharge.
Hopefully your team wins this. I don't think you could have really done too much about that. Both their DPS kind of just beelined it for you, and no one helped to turn around and peel for you. Here I would reset your pylon to that wall to the right of you there. Just it's behind cover and the enemy team can't see it. So I don't want to see you dying in a Illari or in a Sojourn bubble like that when you have your shift. Because if you use your shift, you could get out of that and live pretty easily. Especially because whenever Illari uses her movement ability, she starts passively regenning due to her sub roll now.
They
That's like
outnumber
a
us.
recent change.
Get them away from the
So
payload.
here, I wouldn't even go this far up. You
Stay
should
near my
sit
pylon.
in that big health pack room. You shouldn't go any further up, because if you go up here, you can easily get picked off and die and stagger. And once your Reaper TP's away, you can't help him anymore.
Behind you.
We must get them off.
So you should hear that Reaper behind you. So now you need to go to the left, since that Reaper's behind you.
I've been to enough funerals. I'm recharging. Don't retract.
The payload has reached the
So here, you guys just need to reset. They got the point. You guys need to hold the next corner. So
This ends now.
you just need to kite the Sojourn, don't just hold S.
Face the sunrise.
I don't like this. I'm gonna pause it. I don't like this ult, this Illari ult, just because, like, it's not a bad ult because you hit people with it, but it's a bad ult because if you hit those people and kill them, their spawn is right here. So it'll delay them about 10 seconds. You should at least wait until you're fighting for this corner space. That way they don't just like... Because they've already kept the point. So if you kill people here, it doesn't really matter.
Coming through. Area denied.
Double kill, the Mahal.
Unassailable prowess.
They're making gains. Enemy
We must
contact.
limit them to
I'll
our
walk a
benefit.
different path this time.
وريهم قوتك. Surrender to my will.
We're outnumbered.
Stop the payload with everything
Position
you
is
got.
healing.
So here, you shouldn't even be up here. 'Cause your tank has already died. He's still waiting to respawn. So if you die up here, you're just kind of staggering yourself. So you guys can get another team fight in if your team regroups. If your DPS go in, you can't really help them because you just put yourself in such a bad position doing so. I like you repositioning here.
Its destination.
So there, if you reacted quicker to the Reaper shooting you, if you like once you heard his first shot, if you just hit shift, you'll get away from him and you might be able to live just because you boop him away with your shift, and you'll move yourself further away from him. That's a little nitpicky though, because like you respawn, so it doesn't really matter.
Healing pylon out.
Here you should try to put your pylon on the back of that statue, just because once they round this corner, they can shoot that pylon for free.
Show me your wounds.
So there, I saw you try to use shift and you just didn't have it. You could have maybe avoided that if you positioned a little further back, but I think this team, the enemy team, would have won the team fight regardless here. They just had the ult advantage.
Up and away.
Round 2.
Stay near.
Again, I like this positioning. I like starting out on high ground here. I wish like your Bastion was up here with you, but he's not. But it's still the good positioning to use.
Stop the payload.
No holding back.
Enemies
Let's
now.
move.
Hostile forces are pushing the payload. I recommend moving behind my barrier.
And like if you because you had a drop, they immediately get high ground. If you had a DPS up there with you, which like I know you can't control this, but if you had a DPS out there with you, that would have made it a lot easier. Here you should have just, instead of trying to get out, just 'cause they're gonna be able to catch you because they're on Reaper. You should have just tried to die faster. But you respawn with your mortar, so it doesn't overly
Hostile
matter.
forces are pushing the
10
payload.
seconds
In
remaining.
mere moments, we will reign triumphant.
Here, I think you should have just walked straight over to that window instead of trying to go around here. Just kind of like delayed pathing.
Stay near my pylon.
I like that pylon spot, it's good. Especially in overtime where it's chaotic.
Don't be reckless.
Surrender to my will.
There you got lucky that your Bastion killed the Reaper, because if he didn't kill the Reaper, you were gonna die to that Reaper ult.
You get what you deserve.
Round 3. Complete.
Persistence is always.
Attackers incoming. Escort the payload.
I'll see this through. No matter what.
So that Reaper TP behind you.
Keep it together. Recharging. Just stuff it out. Positioning healing pylon. Stay near my pylon.
Yeah, I like you sitting on cart and not chasing that sojourn.
Advancing the payload.
I don't blame you for getting off cart since the Reaper was trying to kill you. So you can't heal through Sigma Shield. The only like support that can heal through shields is Mercy, so you'll just have to wait for your tank to come back around the shield or just try to shoot it and destroy it.
Stay close. I'm trying to help.
Warning. Engaging this.
Need a moment to recharge.
Is in our care.
Alright, so I think the things you need to work on are very minimal. I think you need to... So when you're shooting Illari, like I said earlier, you should always wait for it to charge up as much as possible before shooting it and not spamming it, just because you're going to be doing basically twice as much damage if you're doing that. I think that your Illari ults, you should be using shift before using the ult, and you should try to time your ults at better times and be a little more patient with the ults instead of trying to click it right away, because you have like 6 seconds in the air. If you pick the perk, I believe you get like 8 seconds or something like that, so you have plenty of time to be able to shoot your ult and use it. And then I feel like your positioning's okay. You could position a little further back sometimes, but I feel like your decision making with like dealing with flankers sometimes is a tad slow, and that causes you to die. But I think if you work on those things, you'll easily be able to get to silver.